Okay, so we're going to be covering the skin. Now the skin has three different layers. The first one is the epidermis, this first layer right here. The second one is the dermis, and then the third layer is the hypodermis. The first layer, epidermis, is made up of stratified squamous epithelium, and you can see it right there. Whereas the dermis, which under the epidermis, has areolar tissues and dense, irregular connective tissues. Now the third one, hypodermis, is technically not a part of the skin, but it has areolar tissues and adipose tissue as well. So those are the three different layers of the skin. The skin has three different accessory structures. First one we're going to go over is the hair. Now hair helps with sensation, protects us from trauma, as well as help with impact protection. Also, we have hair in our nose, which filters things through the nose. The second one we're going to go over is exocrine glands. We have two different exocrine glands. Sweat glands, right here, which are also called sudoriferous glands, and these glands are here to help us cool off. The second gland is sebaceous glands, which another name is oil glands, and these glands help keep our skin moisturized and help fight off bacteria. Now the third structure is nails, which nails protect our fingertips, and it also helps with friction.
The epidermis is made out of 5 layers of skin. We have the stratum basale, stratum spinosum, stratum granulosum, stratum lucidum, and stratum corneum. A fun numeric to help you guys remember the layers of the skin. Our big sweaty guys lack class. Let's see on a model where these 5 layers of skin are. This purple gray layer right here is the stratum basale. This lighter purple gray area is the stratum spinosum. The dark purple is the stratum granulosum, while this white layer is stratum lucidum. This thick layer of skin is the stratum corneum. It's found only in thick skin on the palms of our hands and the soles of our feet, while thin skin lacks the stratum corneum. We all come in different sizes, shapes, and colors, but our skin produces 2 different kinds of pigments, keratin and melanin. Keratin produces an orange color in our skin, and it's also responsible for making carrots orange, while melanin produces a dark pigment in our skin because of melanocytes, and that protects us from harmful UV rays. Moving on to our dermis, we have our papillary layer and reticular layer. In the papillary layer, we have dermal papillae, which house the Meissner's corpuscles and nerve endings. We also have our dermal and epidermal ridges. These ridges give us our unique fingerprints and help us feel vibrations, while our reticular layer has lines of cleavage or tension lines, which is the direction that most collagen fibers run, and flexure lines, like the lines in your neck. The capillaries in the dermis provide a blood supply that make your skin appear pink.
Let's look at the glands within the skin. We have sebaceous glands, eccrine glands, and apocrine glands. Sebaceous glands produce sebum, which is oil, and what this oil does protects our bodies as well as moisturizes our skin. Eccrine glands, what it is cools off our bodies. Most of it is just water. Okay, it doesn't smell. We also have apocrine glands. Now these are the stinky sweat glands. It's milky in color, and also what's in it is water. There's some protein, fatty acid, and there's 2 different types of apocrine glands that I want to mention. We have mammary glands, which these glands produce milk found in the breast area, and also ceruminous glands. Now these glands produce earwax. and keeps the ear from drying out.
The skin has several functions, the first of which being protection. The skin has 3 barriers. Physical barriers, which keeps the outside world out of our bodies and makes us waterproof. Chemical barriers, where the melanin in our skin protects us from getting too sunburnt from the UV rays. And biological barriers, where our Langerhans cells fight off foreign invaders and activate the immune system if they find one. Another function of the skin is to regulate our body's temperature, keeping us at a cool 98.6 degrees Fahrenheit. The skin also acts as a cutaneous sensory receptor, where if our body gets above the 98.6, it knows to cool itself down. Your skin also has metabolic functions. Your skin absorbs vitamin D from the sun, which in turn helps your skin absorb more calcium. Your blood also acts as a blood reservoir. It contains 5% of the total amount of blood in your body. Excretions is also a duty of the skin. It excretes chemicals like urea and ammonia, which produce a foul odor. Let's talk about some homeostatic imbalances of the skin. First one is striae, more commonly known as stretch marks. These form when the dermis is torn and scar tissue forms in its place. Stretch marks are very common in pregnant women and can form anywhere on the body. Next, we have blisters. Blisters form when the epidermis and dermis separate, and the space between them is filled with fluid. These appear when you may wear new shoes or get a burn. The last one is the effects of UV. Ultraviolet rays cause skin cancer and loss of skin elasticity.
Some other homeostatic imbalance of the skin is abnormal coloration. Pallor, that is when your skin is pale, either from being scared or angry or going into shock. Another one is cyanosis, and that is because of having low oxygen. So your nails turn blue, your nail beds turn blue, and you also have blue lips. And another one is erythema, and that is where you have red skin. So it can be from blushing, having a fever. Another one is bronzing. Now bronzing is your skin turning brown. Lastly, we have jaundice. Jaundice is when your skin turns yellow. It can be from your liver not working well, so you'll see alcoholics that have jaundice, and also some babies will have jaundice.
A hematoma is another homeostatic imbalance. It's clotted blood trapped beneath the skin, otherwise known as a bruise. Skin cancer is an unfortunate homeostatic imbalance. There's 3 types of skin cancer: basal cell carcinoma, squamous cell carcinoma, and melanoma. Basal cell starts in the stratum basale. It's the least malignant. Squamous cell carcinoma comes from the stratum spinosum. It can be dangerous, but not if you catch it early. Melanoma will kill you, and it affects the melanocytes. It metastasizes rapidly, and it's very difficult to treat. It's important to check yourself or have a loved one check you for skin cancer. When doing so, you should look for ABCDE rules. Asymmetry, not round. If it's not round, that should be alarming. Border irregularity. The border should not be indented. You should also look for different colors. A mole should only be one color. Diameter. It should be no larger than a pencil eraser. Elevation. A mole or freckle should be one level. If it has different heights, you should get it checked out by a doctor.
Another homeostatic imbalance is burns. Now burns can put you into shock. They can cause sudden dehydration and also can cripple your immune system, as well as just make it a bacteria playground. Now, there are different ways of figuring out the degrees of burns. First degree, it has just reached the epidermis, so just the epidermis is burnt. Second degree, it's gone through the epidermis into the dermis, so the epidermis has died and now there are blisters. Third degree, it's just the full thickness burns. The fire burned right straight through the dermis into completely through the entire thickness of the skin. Now, when you're evaluating the severity of the burns, you use the rule of nines. Now, we have this body separated into different sections. Each section is about 9%. So you just add up the different percentage. So if over 25% of the body has second-degree burns, then it's generally considered a critical burn. Or if 10% of the body has third-degree burns, it's considered critical. There are also, if you have third-degree burns to the face, hands, or feet, those are also considered critical burns.